Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Marcy.
Happy birthday to you.
Somewhere.
Hi, Marcy, darling. I love you so very much. Happy, happy, happy birthday.
My lover stands on golden sand.
Hi, Morris, the other half of the Adlers. Happy birthday, darling. We love you and look forward to many more years together. Happy birthday.
Beyond the sea, she's there watching for me.
Well, we met Marcy the same year that we met each other. Actually, 1950, I think it was.
And we became such good friends that when I was having a baby, I borrowed Marcy's maternity clothes for my first child, Barry, who's here tonight also.
So we want to wish Marcy a great happy birthday, many more.
Many.
To my dear cousin Marcy, who I love to death. She's 13 years older than me, and she was my babysitter. And we had such good times till we went our separate ways. She to California, me to Florida. But we've always enjoyed a particular closeness. Though Marcy's family could say that about everybody, she had that particular closeness. And I just love her to death, and I want her to be around another 90 years. Thank you. It's my cousin Alan.
Hi, I'm Robin. I am Alan and Linda's daughter, the middle daughter. I have a brother, David, and my sister Abby are both here. And my beautiful daughter, Ella, is Marcy. We're so happy to be here for your 90th birthday, and we love you very much. And it's just great to be here with family, and it's just a fun night. Thank you.
I know we'll meet beyond the shore. We'll kiss just
Say hello. Ivy, could you say goo goo gaga?
Can you say hello?
never again.
Say goo goo gaga.
No more sailing.
Happy 90th. I hope it's you enjoy your party, and we haven't seen you in a few years. Last I remember was at Veranda with the waterfall and you and all the kids. So have a wonderful and happy birthday.
It had to be you. It had to be you.
I hope I'm just the first of many toasts tonight. So everybody, over the past many months in planning this party, our cousins and I, we all want to say that it really was a joy to plan together because it was fun. Marcy told me probably 100 times, if once, that it was okay to do this party because she was willing to be, quote, the excuse. She was an excuse for all of us to get together, and because of that, she said, okay, you can have the party. So first, let's all raise our our drinks, okay, and give a toast to the most beautiful excuse that I know, Marcy, the most beautiful woman inside and out. Happy birthday, excuse, Marcy. Cheers to you. In that vein of being an excuse, for us to be together, I want to say that I was already feeling that connection of each person in the room. I was doing the family tree, which a lot of you saw outside, and I was able to savor the connections from the people who are here in the present to those who we don't even know and we're just meeting tonight. The Blanks, the Solomons, the Rectors, and the Fields. I was lucky to grow up with all my cousins. My dad and my mom in Long Beach, we would have barbecues every Sunday. It's crazy to think that some of you don't know each other when we spent every Sunday together with Willie Shewell steaks being barbecued, with playing with my cousins. It defined my childhood. I loved growing up. I loved going, Marcy, I loved going, where are you, to Searingtown and playing in your backyard with Richie and with Jamie and the neighbors Pam and, was it Judy, Em? I think Pam and Judy, thinking that your backyard was magical. And it was magical because there were no fences and it just seemed like it went on and on forever. And as a kid, that was just like unbelievable. We lived in New York and in LA together, Marcy. We were very lucky that we continued to celebrate all our holidays together with Mom and Dad and Phil and Mel and Uncle Harvey and Uncle Larry and Aunt Jean and Jamie and Richard making really their silly little funny voices, animal voices, with Sasha and Myrtle, our two dogs, playing together, and eventually with Alana and Alexa joining the fun, and now with Adam too. Through the years, we never let distance separate us. And now with Audrey and you, and my Wednesday phone calls to you from LA, we are able to keep our hearts connected, and we always do. All my uncles, Uncle Harvey with his outlandish pranks, Uncle Harry with his large stuffed animals, Aunt Marion with her honest conversation, Uncle Arthur with just pure love. I believe the Blank Clan is celebrating with us today. I recently read a gesture from Patti Smith. It isn't that the dead don't speak, it's that we forget to listen. We are all listening today to those who are no longer here with us, but are with us in our hearts. We thank them for giving us a roadmap to get here today. Marcy, you are the center of this clan. You are the center of our hearts today and on your birthday and always. We, together, love you, love you, love you.
Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I love you, love you, love you.
Love was made for me and you.
I was going to say, from the moment I was a flower girl at Marcy's and Mel's wedding, and I was 3 years old, until ever on, we've been close and had so many memories together. And starting with that memory, Aunt Jean came up to me at the end and she said, "Darling, you forgot to throw the flowers." And I was so embarrassed. So to this day, I'm very sorry about that. So I'm going to tell a story from way back when Ginger and Marcy and I just spoke about this, but I'll let the other people know. We got in the car and we traveled along Meadowbrook Parkway, and we went into Marcy's basement, and all of the seats were lined up, and we all watched Ginger having her puppies. So that was a very special memory. And from then on, I'm trying to think. There have been lots of, and we always wanted to go and see the babies, Richie and Jamie. And Richie would entertain us, and Jamie was adorable. We had wonderful memories all the way into California and even ongoing right now. And I love you, and I hope you live forever, happily and healthily.
Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love.
Marcy was just saying to us how she babysat for all of us and took care of the crown jewels, right? But Anne just reminded me, I was at your wedding also, and I remember Anne walking down the aisle, and I'm a year older than Anne, so what, you were 3, and I was 4, and then I wanted to stay, and my parents made me go up to the room and and I couldn't stay for the rest of the wedding. But Marcy and Mel were just such a beautiful, beautiful couple. And we were just saying that Jean's legacy and her greatest wish was to bring family together. And she did it again and again and again in all different ways. And Marcy continues to do that. And for that, we're forever grateful. And I'll just stop there and say thank you, and I love you so dearly. Love you, love you, love you.
When we're out together, dance cheek to cheek. Yes.
I was writing in her book, and I was just realizing all the memories that I have of growing up and going to visit Marcy and cousin Marcy in Westchester, and I would get to ride on the hill. You know, the one hill, because I came from Miami, there was no hills, so that was a big deal, is that we got to go ride on the hill. And then going to Madeline's wedding and going and getting my hair done, and it was such good memories. And then going out to your house in California when you had 13 cats. I thought I had died and gone to heaven. When I was going through my father's stuff, and my father adored Marcy. That was his love. I can't even express how much he loved her. And I found many poems that he had written for her, and I picked one of those out. And hopefully I can read it because it's the draft version. So I'm going to read this, and came from my dad as if he was here. This is what he would say. He said, "To my niece, my best friend." He said, "The affection that you have shown to me is different than that of any niece, never absent when I need her sweet presence. There's a road called remembrance. When we talk, year after year, day after day, it's the very happy road, all filled with memories, rare but so true. If I know the place where we would come true, that's where I would go today. For my birthday wish for you, I wish you all you're wishing for no niece is each ever deserved more. We both know together we can purchase gifts, but we are rich with happy memories. So many, so hard to recollect, so many, so true. So as I love as my niece, my lives, nothing can erase the pleasure of knowing kinship gives a priceless gift, bringing hearts together for all your love, your Uncle Larry."
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats.
Of course, I was the oldest one, and I was her favorite.
Marcy recalls how I would come into a room, and I would tell everybody who would grab me, no tugging and no tissing. But Marcy was my favorite babysitter forever, and a favorite person now and certainly forever. She's a great gal, and we're so privileged to be here and celebrating her 90th with her. Marcy had a boxer puppy that one day when we were over there, the dog's name was Norman. Norman, and Jamie was washing it in the toilet bowl.
So let me tell you about my first experience. I was 13 years old, 1950. Mel was my hero. Here was Mel, who went off to the war, came back a captain in the Air Force. I remember seeing him resplendent in his uniform. He looked like Gary Cooper or Clark Gable. Even though he was an administrator, he had I remember his hat cocked like fighter pilots, like Steve Kenyon, those of us who remember. So this is, what year is this, Deanna? You remember what year we got married? 61, was it? 1961, right? 1961. And here's Mel and Marcy with Marcy right next to Deanna, the two most gorgeous women in my life. But what was my first reaction when I saw Marcy? My first reaction when I met her in 1950, Mel brought her to some kind of an event or family event, and I took one look and I said, oh my God, Mel's done it. He's brought home a shiksa goddess. That was my first reaction. I was 13 years old, but even then I realized this was a beautiful woman. We subsequently learned not only was she Jewish, but talented, brilliant, warm, and we warmed up immediately. We became very dear friends. Mel was my first boss. He brought me into the textile industry, where I've enjoyed a nice success in that industry, much of which I owe to Mel. But Mel and Marcy were the first also. We lived, the entire Adler, Rector, the entire family lived in what we call the shtetl. You could call it a, what's another word for it, a ghetto in the Bronx. You walked up and down Sheridan Avenue, and there was Aunt Flossie, there was Aunt Bee, there was the entire block. You couldn't walk a block without running into a cousin. They became my role models. Mel was not only my boss, but Mel and Marcy, we emulated the way they dressed, the way they furnished their home. This was our goal. They were our absolute role models for Deanna and I when we got married, and in subsequent years. For one of my birthdays, my brother Ed, who was a renowned artist, made a collage of all of my family and friends, which I recently wrote my memoirs, which Marcy and Audrey have received a copy. I have another copy for you here, Marcy. But right next to Marcy, and this is no mistake, I'm sure, Ed, whether it was subliminal or intentional, the two most beautiful blondes I've ever known or seen are next to each other, and the one not quite as pretty next to Marcy is Marilyn Monroe, who I also had a crush on. Reading it. So these are my memoirs, which I wrote. I did not publish it for anyone but the family, and I call it Passing the Torch, or in Hebrew, the Dor Vador, because it's really meant for children and future generations to share the stories that I can go only as far back as my grandparents. Before that, I don't know what happened in Poland and Auschwitz. I don't know what happened in Austria, but this at least tells the story as far back as I can go. It's all stories of the family, myself, and going on. And of course, there's a fabulous picture in here of Marcy and Mel. Also, on the back, Mel wearing his uniform and Marcy. So Marcy, it's been so fabulous knowing you these past, I don't know how many years, since 1950, add them up. I've said it all. We love you. We love having you over every breakfast. We love your cheesecake. We love your smile and your sparkling eyes. Happy birthday, darling.
Come fly with me, we'll fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay.
I didn't plan on speaking, but knowing it's your 90th birthday, what I had said before is I'm feeling very emotional. I feel from the time I was a little boy that I had the best aunt in the whole world. I thought she was the kindest. I thought she was the sweetest. I thought she was the most fun. And as we all grew up, with Jamie and Richie as two cousins that I idolized, our relationship continued, and I love you. And Audrey, you too. I can't, we spent Passovers together. I talk to Aunt Marcy like she's a second mom. Audrey's been like a big sister. I wanted to express in front of everyone here how terrific you are, and a wonderful life I've had because of you in it. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
My brother and I and my parents as a constant visitor in Aunt Jean and Uncle Arthur's house, and of course Marcy being there, and then Marcy getting married, and then we have so many memories of visiting, for several decades of being together, some of which we visited her in California at her house on Sunset Plaza. I think Gary was 5 and Wendy was 2. We came into the house. Sasha was there, sleeping on the floor, and Wendy crawled up next to her and fell asleep for a couple of hours. We have fond memories of just lifetime memories. And today is really celebrating. There's 3 generations here of the Blank family. Too bad there's not 4 generations. We missed that a little bit. But we had quite a life together. We had our ups, we had our downs, but we're all here in one room celebrating a great lady. And we love you, love you, love you. Thank you.
I'm just so grateful that my children, there's Ivy sitting right over there. She's only 15 months old. And there's Easton sitting on the floor over there who's 3.5. And I'm just so grateful that they have you, Marcy, as an example, as this beacon of sophistication and class and grace and poise. And it just makes me so happy that they have you as a role model and as an example to look up to. That, to enter your 90s with such grace and such beauty and such poise, it's incredible. And I'm, just looking at Ivy right over here. She's 15 months old. And I can tell you, Ivy is going to grow up looking up to you. And you're going to be this example and this beacon for her. And it means the world to me and to my family that we and that she has you as someone who she could look up to you. And I'll hand it off to Alana now, who can certainly speak more from history as I married my way into this party.
We just want to wish you a happy, happy birthday. And we have so many memories of you coming to all of our birthday parties growing up. You say happy birthday? And we have so many memories of you at the beach with Aunt Jean, and then equal amount of memories having lunch at Sarge's and visiting Aunt Jean in the city, and her purple apartment with purple toilet paper and everything.
Wait, Ivy has words.
Oh. Her. Yep, I agree with her.
Not shy.
And we just want to say that we love you, love you, love you. Love you, love you, love you. Do you say love you? And happy birthday.
Unforgettable. That's what you are.
Unforgettable, though near or far.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marcy. Happy birthday to you.
As I look around the room to see all your beautiful smiling faces, I can't tell you how happy, proud, and thankful I am to be a part of such a loving, thoughtful, generous, kind, loyal, fascinating family. All of you, everybody. Yes, you used me as an excuse, it's okay, to get together. And I wear this badge with honor. I want each and every one of you to promise me that long after I'm gone, you'll remember that nothing can replace the joy of belonging to a loyal, caring family, that you'll treasure each other and meet at least once a year. Promise me. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Keep the connection. Remember the past. The people who made the journey. The long, lonely, dangerous journey to these shores. So that we can thrive and live a fulfilling, unique life unimagined by our ancestors. When young Abraham Blank of Rum crossed the Atlantic Ocean, suffering almost unstoppable, it's true, seasickness, really a crazy kind of seasickness. He couldn't have imagined the lives we now live, accomplishments, the love for each other we share. But he would say the love we share is his proudest accomplishments. I know he would love you all, each and every one of you, quirks and all, as I do. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And in the immortal words of my mother, Jean Blank Meth, love you, love you, love you.
Unforgettable in